Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Saturday, August 19th, 2023. Lance Brock here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this Saturday episode of GMWF. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Saturday morning so far. And on today's episode, going to preview tonight's AEW Saturday Collision. But first, excuse me, want to go over something real quick. Just a reminder, new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic last night, talking about Friday Night SmackDown and Rampage, and that's what I want to talk about real quick, is that there was something that I did forget to go over as usual. On SmackDown, there was a backstage interview, Caleb Braxton talking to the wise man Paul Heyman, and she asked him about the rumors with the Bloodline and everything, Jey Uso quitting WWE, and he got upset at her, asked her how she would like it if he asked about the rumors about her mother, her father, and he was upset that she didn't ask him about Edge and other things going on in the WWE. I would say I thought this wasn't too bad, but I wouldn't say it was really that great either. Maybe it was just a way to get something involving the Bloodline on the show, since yesterday's main focus of SmackDown was the focus on the 25-year celebration of Edge. That could have been the reason why, of course, no Roman Reigns on the show at all, no Jimmy Uso on the show, and of course, Jey Uso supposedly has quit the WWE. But overall, still a really good episode of SmackDown. Great main event, Edge vs. Sheamus. And if for some reason you missed that match last night, I definitely recommend you go and check that out. And now, let's get to today and preview tonight's episode of AEW Saturday Rampage, or Saturday Collision. I apologize for that one. And Collision will be live from Lexington, Kentucky this week at the Rupp Arena. 8 days from All in London. And this is the third and final part of this year's Fight for the Fallen, raising money for the Maui Food Bank. And tonight we will see Darby Allin take on Christian Cage, which that's one that I'm actually looking forward to. I think that a young and upcomer like Darby Allin taking on a seasoned veteran like Christian Cage, I think that these two will probably actually work pretty well together and have a good match tonight on Collision. And of course, Luchasaurus will be in the corner of Christian Cage. And we will see Samoa Joe continue to try to get a match against the real world's champion, CM Punk, at All in London. I'm guessing just 8 days away from this big show that tonight will probably be when it is made official, Joe versus Punk. I don't know if it will be for the Real World Championship, or if it'll be for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, or maybe both, who knows. But I don't really see CM Punk winning the Ring of Honor television title. I don't see him appearing on Ring of Honor, even though Ring of Honor does tape at Collision. I just don't see that happening right now. But I could be wrong though. And also, in singles action, we will see Willow Nightingale take on Diamante. And that is all tonight on AEW Saturday Collision, 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT. I hope to have an episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight after Collision, sometime after it, I should say, as we get ready for All in London next weekend, only 8 days away. But first, tomorrow, Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling present Multiverse United 2, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And I will run down the card for that spectacular show tomorrow on the Sunday episode of GMWF. It will be available tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe, on Fight TV. But like I said, I'll talk more about that tomorrow morning. Should be a very good show. And that is all for this Saturday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in this morning. Hope everyone has had a great Saturday morning. Just another reminder, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to leave your feedback on last night's WWE Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage, or you can leave your predictions for tomorrow's Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Multiverse United 2, and also you can now leave your predictions there in the comment section for All in London next week. Also remember, I don't talk about this as often as much as I should, but you can find 360 Wrestling podcasts just about anywhere you can find podcasts, right here on Spreaker, of course, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Castbox, and many other podcast apps and websites all over the internet. And speaking of podcasts, the newest 360 podcast, Anything Goes, episode 2 is now available, talking about Full House. And I haven't decided yet what next week's episode is going to be about, but that will be available next Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you will check that out when the new episode debuts. Once again, that is all for today's episode of GMWF. Hope to be back later for a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. And we'll be back right here tomorrow for the Sunday episode of GMWF to talk all about Impact and New Japan. But until then, Have a great pro wrestling day.